All right, so you guys know Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk. You know him as a political commentator, right? He talks to you about the news and what's going on. Well, he's also taken up another job as basically making these nicknames for all of the candidates. And so, for all the people who'd be curious to know about all those, which I know is a good amount of people, I thought I'd make a comprehensive guide as to giving you all of the nicknames for the candidates so far up until this date. Now, they should be going up on the 17th of March. So, for all the candidates that have announced up until this point and the nicknames that he's created. Now, it's entirely possible and very likely he's going to make new nicknames coming up. So, I'll make updates to this and amends to this as time goes on. But I'm going to sort of run through a couple of these with you guys. So far, it looks like there are 6 nicknames for 6 candidates. And I'm going to run through them. And then I'm going to give you a bit of a ranking. So, first off, we have Amy Klobuchar. His nickname that he has given for Amy Klobuchar is Cloud Boot Jar. Yes, that is Cloud Boot and Jar, all one. All one instead of Amy Klobuchar. It's Cloud Boot Jar. Now, he also gave Senator Kirsten Gillibrand that's the nickname that he gave to Kirsten Gillibrand. He also gave candidate Howard Schultz the nickname Howard Shits. And he, that's a funny one, but he also gave John Hickenlooper, who is, I think, the former governor of Colorado, is a big fracking guy. He's gave him the nickname of, like, his name is a cereal brand. And so what's really funny about those is he'll post in response, like, these Photoshop pictures of, like, him on a box of cereal, and it's titled, like, Hickenloopers, and he'll retweet it, and sometimes that tweet will get more favorites than the source tweet from Hickenlooper himself, which is really funny. I think that one's really funny too. Now, this is a fairly recent one. This one is for Beto O'Rourke, which he has made the nickname Bet on My Stork. Now, originally I didn't know what a stork was. I was like, what the fuck is a stork? Now, apparently it's a bird, which is a weird name. A stork is really a weird name for a bird. That's just my opinion. I didn't know that was what a stork was. But apparently that's what it is. And I think there's also a beef between Mike Figueredo from the Humanist Report and Kyle from Secular Talk. Because I think Mike had tweeted out the nickname Beta O'Dork or something like that. And they kind of got into a pretty heated beef after that. So I don't think they're on speaking terms right now. The last one here is... and this motherfucker's name is a real bitch to pronounce. People call him Mayor Pete, but it's Pete Buttigieg, which oddly sounds like, if you read his last name, it pretty much looks like Booty Judge. Pretty much that's what it looks like, which is Booty and Judge, which is not something you want as your last name. You don't want your last name sounding as a judge of booties, right? And you may do that on your free time, but you probably don't want to have your last name advertising that. And so he just sort of, made the nickname Pete Buttigieg. And I believe he has Buttigieg just as one, thing similar to Cloud Boot Jar, right? You know how it's all one together, right? So now I'm actually going to give my ranking of these nicknames. And I want to know your ranking for these 6 nicknames down below. I'm curious to know. So I'm expecting to see a bunch of rankings down below in the comment section. But here is how mine goes down. I'm going to go from top to bottom. So at my number 1 spot, I have Howard Shits, because I think it really works well. It's something that really makes sense, and it is just a perfect nickname. Howard Schultz, Howard Shits. It just works really well. Now, at my number 2 spot, I have Hickenloopers, the cereal nickname, because it just, it works really well, Hickenlooper cereal. And the Photoshop memes of, like, Hickenlooper on a box of cereal, and it says Hickenloopers, it just works really well. So I'm pretty big a fan of that one. At number 3, I put Pete Buttigieg, because I just think that's funny. His name is funny enough as it is, because it's basically spelled Buttigieg, and that's almost how it's pronounced. Really, it's Buttigieg, kind of Buttigieg. It sounds like he's just speeding up Judge in a way where it's like Jidge. And I don't even, it's just, that, I guess that kind of is what it is. And at 4, I have Bet on My Stork, because it's just a lot of fun saying the word stork. And so, you know, bet on my stork, you know, I kind of fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? I kind of fuck with bet on my stork. And then 5, and you guys may be surprised how low this one is, Cloud Boot Jar. I don't know, Cloud Boot Jar really, it doesn't roll off the tongue for me personally. It doesn't work as well as it does for me, some of you guys. It doesn't roll off the same way. And it's kind of hard to say Cloud Boot Jar. For me, it doesn't really flow syllable-wise. So I have that at number 5. And then number 6, I have Kirsten Gellibrand, just because this is probably the worst one in my opinion. Just because it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work. And I found Bland Gillibrand to be a lot better of a nickname than this one, which I don't know if he's used that. Maybe he has, but I definitely know someone came up with that. I thought that was a pretty good nickname. But Kirsten Jello-Brand is just kind of like, okay, like, you know, fam, I don't really know Jello, what Jello has to do with it exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some info on this, but I'm not feeling the Jello-Brand one. But, you know, also not really feeling the Cloud Boot Jar one, but the other ones are pretty good. But anyways, with the conclusion of that, and I might have to make updates to this because there are probably going to be more candidates jumping in the race and more nicknames to come. But I want to know your ranking down below, 1 through 6. Let me know what your ranks are of these different nicknames. I'm very curious to see them.